A group of young people are being forced to work on a distant planet. Born there and unable to leave due to unfair contracts, they dream of a new life off-world. They have a ship, but sadly lack the cryosleep pods needed to make the long journey. Suddenly, a mysterious craft appears in orbit, and scans reveal that it is empty and has cryosleep pods. With newfound hope, they embark on a mission to retrieve the pods and escape their harsh lives. But they discover that something else is on board, something alien. So I watched Alien Romulus. I liked it. Mostly. At the start, I was totally on board, but towards the end, I started feeling a little restless, and during the last 10 minutes or so, I was getting bored. After I went home and spent some time thinking about the movie, a lot of little things started popping up in my mind that made me think less of my overall experience. I was so torn. Was it a good movie or not? I guess it can be summed up in what parents sometimes say. I'm not angry, I'm just disappointed. Let me explain. Alien Romulus takes place between the events of Alien and Aliens. This means it also follows the events in the prequels, Prometheus and Alien Covenant. There are 2 other films in the main series after Aliens, but they are not important here. Let's look at the titles. In Greek mythology, Prometheus stole fire from the gods and was punished for it. This matches the theme of the film. A covenant is a pact or agreement between people or between people and God. This fits in with various themes in the film. The crew of a space vessel encounter an alien, one, singular. Very easy to understand what this title means. The crew of a space vessel, this time military, encounter lots of aliens, not just one. Again, this is a very apt title. In Roman mythology, Romulus and Remus were twin brothers, sons of the king, who were abandoned and left to die. Instead, they were saved by a god, suckled by a she-wolf, and raised by a shepherd. In the film, we find several pairs of siblings, both actual and figurative. Rain, the main character, and her android brother Andy. Tyler, Rain's ex-boyfriend, and his sister Kay. Bjorn, Tyler and Kay's cousin, and his adopted sister, Navarro. Romulus and Remus, the 2 halves of the Renaissance Space Research Station. The 5 human characters and 1 synthetic human character have all been abandoned in some way, like Romulus and Remus. The humans have all lost their parents, and the android was tossed out like trash. The human characters have also been abandoned by Weyland-Yutani, the corporation that is keeping them locked in seemingly unending work contracts at the mining planet Jackson's Star on LV-410. The research station, Renaissance, is also thought to have been abandoned by the scientists and other staff who were stationed there. However, there is more to the myth. Romulus and Remus have a dispute. Romulus kills Remus. We could expect something similar to happen between the various pairs of siblings. This would properly tie the title into the themes of the film, as with Prometheus and Covenant. Andy gets an upgrade, but it gets undone. Andy never betrays Rain. At no point does Tyler betray Kay. At no point does Bjorn betray Navarro. None of the pairs of siblings or any combination of these characters intentionally cause harm to or the death of anyone. The closest is Andy and his upgrade. Do the researchers on the Romulus half of the station kill the researchers on the Remus half of the station? Is there betrayal here? No. The Renaissance space station, having 2 parts, Romulus and Remus, is not crucial to the plot. The characters have to move throughout various areas of the station to achieve their goals, so the station being large is enough. Naming the two parts Romulus and Remus has no payoff metaphorically. These brothers were never abandoned, as it is revealed that the crew of the station was either killed or used to create xenomorphs. It seems the title of the film has no deep meaning after all. It is trivial. During the film, Andy gets an upgrade after programming from a damaged android found on Renaissance Station is added to his own. This upgrade results in a change to Andy's main directive. Andy will now put the needs of the company first. While this compromises things regarding the safety of the human members of the team, Andy never directly attempts to kill Rain or anyone else. Additionally, Rain never gives up on Andy and goes back to save him in the end. Since I am on the topic of Andy, let's look at the various characters and their interplay. A. Andy is Rain's brother and was programmed by her father to look after her. Great. This is the best relationship in the film. Andy is the most interesting character. B. Tyler is Rain's ex-boyfriend. Why did they break up? Unimportant, zero tension. C. Kay is pregnant. Tyler does not know. The father is some random guy we never meet. Why? They needed a pregnant person for the plot. Kay spends much of the film asleep or unconscious. D. Bjorn is Tyler and Kay's cousin. Why? Unimportant. He could just be a friend instead. E. Bjorn is Navarro's adopted brother. Why? They could be a couple instead. F. Bjorn hates Andy. Bjorn hates all synthetic people due to a different android causing the death of his mother. The tension has no payoff. What would I change? They were all born and grew up on that planet, so of course they're close. A. Andy and Rain, nothing to change. The writers put a lot of thought into their relationship and development. B. Tyler should not be Rain's ex-boyfriend. It serves no point to the plot. Being Kay's brother is okay, though. Maybe make Kay sick, so she has to get off the planet. C. Bjorn can be everyone's friend. He doesn't have to be a cousin. It serves no purpose. D. Bjorn and Navarro can be a couple. She is the one who is pregnant. E. As per the plot, they can use the medicine they find to try and treat Kay to disastrous effect, and Navarro can get infected by the medicine if they want to go with the weird baby angle. More on that later. F. Bjorn looks at Andy as a tool, nothing more. There is no meaningless hatred. Most of the story beats could happen with these changes. Alien Romulus references a lot of events and lore from other films in the franchise. Some things return, some new things are added, and some things are strangely missing. One callback is extremely cringeworthy. Of course, xenomorphs return. An unmanned Weyland-Yutani ship goes to the site of destruction of the Nostromo from the original Alien and retrieves the original xenomorph from the film. This xenomorph, thought to be dead, is studied. Using its DNA, the scientists are able to reverse engineer facehuggers in mass quantities somehow. This is mentioned in a throwaway line of exposition. Pretty lazy writing to go from xenomorph corpse to facehuggers. We see something we've never seen before. A massive swarm of facehuggers begins chasing everyone. Making facehuggers the main threat was a really fresh idea. As shown in the poster, someone is attacked by a facehugger. We later get a cool X-ray scene where we can see the chest burster breaking free. These are staples of the franchise. What we don't see, however, is a queen. There is no queen xenomorph laying eggs. There are no eggs at all, in fact, just hordes of active facehuggers running around. Something shown for the first time is how the chest burster transitions into its adult form. We saw shed skin in the original Alien, and here, but we also see a cocoon from which an adult emerges. This is a welcome addition. What starts fresh with an army of facehuggers chasing our heroes becomes familiar with one hero getting impregnated and a xenomorph bursting forth. We know how much danger a soul xenomorph poses. We are now in a situation similar to the original Alien, with our heroes running here and there, trying to gather resources needed to escape the Renaissance station. The upgraded Andy forces them to recover compound Z01, also called Prometheus Fire. This came from the black goo, seen in Prometheus and Covenant. It has been modified to augment humans, so they can be better suited to life in space. Samples of the black goo were acquired from the original xenomorph. There is also another throwaway line of exposition about Peter Weyland dying in his quest to discover this compound. Somehow events from the 2 prequel films were known to the researchers on this station. Another throwaway line of exposition at this point: Z01 contains the genome responsible for the Xeno's ability to accelerate and slow down its metabolism at will. This line was probably added to explain away inconsistencies with how long it takes for a chest burster to mature. In Alien Romulus, it seems to take minutes, less than an hour for sure. I know they need to move things along, but this comes across as lazy writing. While we should have a cat-and-mouse game between a lone xenomorph and our heroes, with scattered swarms of facehuggers lurking throughout the station, what we end up with is entirely different. The crew of the Renaissance station was not simply killed. They were captured, cocooned, and impregnated by facehuggers. There are actually dozens of adult xenomorphs in the station. We have shifted from alien to aliens. This is where I started feeling restless. There was an earlier scene when they were recovering Z01, in which Tyler showed Rain how to handle a rifle. This was a nice callback to a similar scene in Aliens. Later, we see Rain put her knowledge to use, a la Ripley in the same film. However, the problem is that a lone xenomorph seems like an overwhelming threat, as in Alien and this film, while an army of xenomorphs seems very beatable if you are properly armed, as in Aliens. Diminishing the threat level was a bad move here. It is around this point, while I was feeling restless, that the worst callback happened. As Andy saves Rain from a xenomorph, he says, "Get away from her, you bitch." This was said by Ripley to the queen xenomorph in Aliens. A queen is female. Calling a xenomorph drone a bitch, just for a callback, is silly. Bad writing. Meanwhile, pregnant Kay has been seriously injured. She is being prepped for cryosleep, but used the Z01 compound in an effort to repair her body. Remember the engineer we met in Prometheus? Guess what happens to Kay's baby? This is where I became bored and started checking my watch. Overall, I liked Alien Romulus. I'm not a fan of Ridley Scott's prequels and the lore they added, so Alien Romulus feels like a move in the right direction. I can put up with most of the callbacks, and while ham-fisted at times, the existing lore is incorporated well. However, some lazy lines of exposition, some extremely weak character development, a title with no relation to the film's theme, a forced race against a ticking clock, twice, and some fan fiction level plot choices prevent a good film from being a great film. This should have been great. I'm not angry. I'm just disappointed. Thank you for watching. See you next time.